Welcome to the Black Pearl District podcast, where community, culture, business, and purpose meets. Hi, I'm Kelly Hillen,
And I'm Nakima.
and today we have a special guest. I'll let her introduce herself right quickly.
I'm Gabrielle Basile. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for coming.
So, Gabrielle, I heard a lot of great things about you. Um, First of all, you're an author.
Yes,
That
ma'am.
is amazing. A Black female author. We are so excited. For people meeting you for the first time, what would you want to tell them about you?
That I am a strong Black woman, that my experiences don't define me. Of course, I'm an author, and I just want people to really get to know me and know that I'm bigger than the challenges I've been through.
So, silent cries um, of the military wife. So, you were in the military, but your
No.
husband was?
Yes.
Um, what what was happening in your life when you realized you needed to write a book, Silent Cries of the Military Wife?
So I was being abused physically, emotionally, mentally. Um, and it was my way to escape what I was going through. So I started to write. I wanted to remember everything that I had been through, and that was the best way for me to do that. And that's
So
how
were you like overseas or were you
we were in California. Hmm.
so far away from home? No
Yes.
family? So I mean, I know that is common, especially for military.
Mhm.
You end up going to different places, so you were in a vulnerable situation to
Yes.
where all you had was
Hmm.
that. So what does the silence represent, and why was it important for you to give those feelings a voice?
So I came up with the title because I was crying silently. I felt like nobody knew that I was being abused, and I felt like I was alone. So for me, that was the best way to kind of express how I was feeling because I felt like I was doing it silently.
Did they have any resources on base for you? Were there any?
So I felt like there should have been resources, but the reason why I didn't go to anybody was because the woman that I speak about in the book was sleeping with everyone. So the people that I could have went to, there was no real escape because I'm like, she's sleeping with this guy, she's sleeping with the head guy. So who's gonna help me?
Because she might have even disclosed your information.
Yes.
Oh, wow, wow. What? Why would anybody want to read this book?
Well, I feel like people would want to read it because it shows challenges. It shows a woman who was being abused in all those ways, but I got out of it. And I'm trying to show people that there is strength. Yes.
Yeah, I think a lot of us women have had abuse in their life one time or another. Have been with an abuse partner.
Mhm.
Sometimes we define abuse differently, but um, this seems like an interesting read, and I will definitely make sure that I really indulge this book. Um, what was a particular moment when you realized, hey, I need to tell this story?
During the last incident we had, I was pushed downstairs, and to this day, I have like a bone in my chest that
Wow.
sticks out. So I was just kind of like, that was like my final straw. I was like, I need to start like writing, but I wasn't writing to make a book. I was writing because it was my escape. I was writing in a closet. That was the only place that I felt like free.
Journaling is really helpful in mental health
Yes.
when you're dealing with any type of mental health. It just helps you get things out. So I understand where you're coming from. I often recommend to my patients journaling
Hmm.
as a important way to deal with certain things that they're dealing with because a lot of times people don't want to express themselves. So there's no judgment, right? You
No,
can just write what you want
exactly.
as long as it's protected by yourself. Do you hope another military wife or any woman who feels unheard takes away from this silent crimes?
That they can leave their situation, that you don't have to stay in the situation. And I do get, as a woman who was being abused, that I had to stay because I financially couldn't just leave. But get yourself together, get a plan, and when the time is right, which you'll know, get out of there.
Did you have children
I
involved?
did, yes. So there
Okay,
was,
okay.
yes.
Going from silent cries the heart of a champion. Julian's story. And who's Julian? Is it?
That's my son.
That's your
hmm
son. I love that. Um, what inspired you to tell Julian's story?
So last year on November 4th, um, he had to have open heart surgery. But prior to that, my son is a star athlete. He is on the track team. He's like one of the top 5 in our area. He's a really, really good runner. Um, he had been running for a while, of course, and it was time for a sports physical. And I don't know what it was. Well, I do know what it was. I had a dream,
Okay.
and it was telling me, do not let him do the sports physical at the school. And I just felt it. But mind you, I'd already called his doctor's office to get him an appointment at the doctor's office, but they said they didn't have any openings. And when I called back on the day of the physical, they said that they did have an opening, and it was at the same time as his sports physical at the school. So I was like, I'm going to take him to his actual doctor so that they can do the checkup. During that visit, his doctor heard what sounded like a heart murmur, and he had another doctor come in, and she said, it's slight, but I can hear it. And they sent him to a cardiologist. And then we went there, and they did an EKG, and they saw something, but they couldn't tell because the EKG doesn't really show you the complete image. So the doctor, of course, my son was in the room, and he was like, I'm going to leave. He was scared. And I was like, is this something like we need to really like worry about? And he was like, I don't want to scare you, but we're going to have to do a CAT scan. Wow. So a week later, we got the CAT scan, and but mind you, I'd already cussed out the whole facility at the cardiologist because I felt like they were playing games.
Wow.
And he called me and he said, good or bad, I'm going to call you. So as soon as the results come in. So I'm thinking it's going to be a couple days before we get the results. I drop my son off at track practice and I'm headed home, and I see the doctor calling me. And he said, hey, where are you and where's your son? And I said, I'm on my way home. My son's at track practice. And he said, I need you to turn around and go and get him. And I was like, why? Is there like, what's going on? And he said, your son could have a sudden death incident. He could die from running. So I ended up having to rush to the school to get him. And it was just hard telling him that he wasn't going to be able to run, whether it would be again or for a while.
That's kind of similar to what happened with Ronnie James, if I'm not mistaken. If they didn't, early intervention is really what saves these kids. That's why it's important to make sure they're getting their physicals.
Yes.
Make sure they're, let them know, to let you know if there's anything ever going on with them cardiac wise. Because they'll be like, oh, sometimes my heart hurts. Or sometimes they'll say little things. So I'm really happy that you listen to your gut and evaluate it.
Yeah.
And it's also important as a primary care provider to listen to heart sounds.
Yes.
It's so important. People don't realize that because that can really determine. It can really save someone's life.
Yeah.
Let's see. What does the word champion mean to you, and how does Julian embody the word?
So for me, I feel like my son is a true champion. I watched him go through an 8-hour open heart surgery. And when he came back, I'm going to say within the same week, they wanted him up and walking. And he had to do like a certain amount. And anytime they would say, we want you to walk this distance, he would double it. And then when we had to go back for his stress test, like my son had been secretly working out, and I was like, he wasn't supposed to, but he was like, I'm still trying to get myself back to where I used to be. And at his stress test, I was sitting there, and I will always say this, I'm thinking about a 6-piece chicken wing, and I'm watching this kid, and I'm like, he is killing it on the treadmill. His mama over here hungry, and I couldn't do that, but he was killing it, and I'm watching him, and I'm like, he's just fighting back. Like every challenge they gave him, he didn't let it stop him, and he just pushed himself. So I'm just like so thankful to be able to say that's my son, but I watched him, to me, and that's what a champion is, a person that doesn't give up and just keeps going, and he did that.
Perseveres.
Yes.
So what is he doing now?
He's on track, and he actually took his team to state qualifiers.
Wow.
Imagine not being able to run, and then you come back and do that.
And how old is he now?
He is 16. He just turned 16.
16.
Yeah.
And running.
Yep.
And like nothing ever happened.
Running all the time. He'll be like, Mom, can you pull over so I can run home? And I'll follow him.
They probably put a bionic heart in him.
I don't know what they did, but he be running.
Yeah.
He is a runner.
So that's good. That's good. I mean, that is so good that you put these in stories because people need to tell their
Right.
story.
Yeah,
You
And
know,
it might
It-
make a mother, say,
right?
hey, you know what? Let me get my son checked.
Yeah, yeah,
exactly. Because
exactly.
a lot of people, I feel like, don't take their kids to the doctors. And I feel like just being a mom who's on track and how
Mhm.
there's a lot of parents that don't show up for their kids. So can
Right.
you imagine the fact that they don't show up to the track meets, but yet are you assuming that they're taking these kids to the doctors? I
Right.
don't. I mean, if you can do the sports physical, it's an easier route than taking them to the doctors.
Right.
People need to take their kids to their actual primary care doctor.
I
And
agree.
that's why I wrote a children's book. Even for like younger kids who are active, I want you to know, like, don't be scared of the doctors. But
Mm.
especially if you are more active, and even if you're not active, go to the doctors.
So, right in Julian's story,
Mhm.
an emotional experience for you.
Yes, it was a very emotional experience because just imagine you don't know if your son is going to be okay. Like the doctor, that's one of the things that you hear. Like
Mm.
it's 8 hours, and
Wow.
you're reading like there's the possibility of death. Like for me, it was really hard hearing that, but I was like, if my son don't make it, neither will I, because that's
Of
really
course.
I live
Of
my
course.
life for him.
Right.
And, like he,
At this point.
yes, he's made me a better person.
Right.
So if I didn't have him, I don't feel like I would have had anything to live for.
Wow. Wow. That's, I'm telling you, that's just amazing because kids are everything to us. When they come, our whole life changes,
Yeah,
and life would not be the same without them. So I'm so
exactly.
glad you got the opportunity to save your son. That is
Thank you.
amazing because everybody don't get that opportunity.
Yes.
Don't get that opportunity. And this is not your last book, right?
No, I want to keep writing. I've
Okay.
found like a joy in it because I feel like even telling actual experiences can help somebody, whether it's through abuse or you're like helping you register, hey, I need to do more with my child, be more productive as a parent. That's my goal.
Okay. Good. Good.
So, what have these books taught you about yourself?
That I'm a very strong person. I went through a lot of different things. And I mean, going through abuse, I didn't like the person I became after that. I felt like I was very sheltered. I didn't really like being around people, didn't trust people. So I really started to distance myself. And I'm a very social person. It broke me. And then with my son, not knowing what was going to happen, it made me cherish those around me more. I feel like you don't
Mm-hmm.
register the people that are in your life until something like this happens. And I
Mm-hmm.
had to register I'm not being as present as I should be in everybody's life.
Mm-hmm.
Not my son, but other family members,
Right.
because that could be their child.
That's
And they
right.
were very supportive for me through that.
That's good.
Family's so important.
Yes.
This is amazing. This was amazing to have you here and talk to you. You know, the Black Pearl District podcast really is to introduce women, minorities, um, to the community. Let them know that we're here. Let them know the things that we're doing. I mean, I had no, I didn't know that you was an author here, right in my own community. And I'm so proud of you. I'm
Thank you.
really proud of you. And we talked about that last time, how you have to uplift each other. We are
Mhm.
learning how to uplift each other instead of bringing each other down or being jealous or being all that. We want to uplift you and we want to tell you that we are here to support you. We want to see more of your books. We want to, whatever, we can think about and collaborate to make sure that your books are known and that people know you, the stories behind you and all the things that
Thank
are
you.
happening, you
Is
know.
there a way? How can people purchase your books?
So Silent Cries of a Military Wife, that is on Amazon, and Heart of a Champion Julian story is on Story Jumper.
I used to be the director of family programs for the state of New York.
Oh wow.
And I wish that I had this book then because we probably would have purchased and given it to every spouse that came into the family program because the family program was geared for family of military
Hmm.
and especially when they had to go away and deploy and so
And making sure that they know that there's resources and what you did and establishing a plan, or even because we're military. So
Mhm.
I'm retired Air Force.
Oh,
He was
awesome.
retired Army.
Thank you
So
for your
we
service.
both um, done our 20 plus years, 36. I did 20.
Wow.
So being on the other side of things, we I guess we didn't need we I don't know we didn't need the resources.
I mean, we
We were the actual
we could
military
be
people.
we could be
Yeah.
abused too, just because
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
we're
true.
women and we can be abused too. As a matter of fact, I was, when I first
You
joined the
were in the, that's
military,
right.
I was an abused woman, so I get it. So I know. But the story ain't about me, it's about you. So we're not going to discuss me. But so regardless if were you the soldier or were you the spouse, um, women get abused, and women need to hear your story, and more people need to hear your story. Because some people have no out; they don't know what to do or get out of the situation.
Yeah.
So more people need to hear and read your story.
Thank
And I plan on, making sure I get that book and making sure I pass it on to other military families.
Thank you.
We're our business is a veteran owned business. I don't know if it would be something that we could carry in the store. Maybe something to think about. People
Do
can
you have
come there
many
and
of these
actually
books
Yeah.
published?
Yep.
can actually purchase the book from
Yeah, yeah,
maybe something to
yeah.
talk about.
Something to talk about.
Well, that'll be awesome. I'm all
Right.
in.
We'll talk offline
Okay.
about that. But this has been great. I mean, we've had amazing time speaking to you, and hopefully we opening a door for people that may have experienced domestic violence to
Yes.
reach out. Just another reason we have um, our producer who has an inbox, so maybe we can link you with different people, or people that see this and are like, hey, I'm in a situation. Is there any resources for me out there? So
Right.
That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
make sure to reach out. You can always inbox, um, DM, get in the DMs if you need to, because we definitely are willing to find
But
resources for people.
yeah, and collaboration. Collaboration is so important. So this is just the beginning of what we can do to collaborate. This is just the
Or
beginning of.
if you have a domestic violence program that you want to come and talk about,
Mhm.
we're always willing to invite people on too
Right,
for that,
right.
so we
So,
can actually meet people.
is there any questions that you have or
No
anything? Any
questions. I
comments?
think you guys were amazing and I appreciate it. I mean, this was beautiful. I felt very connected, especially with it being like two women and then like you both being veterans, which was, I didn't know both of you were veterans.
Mhm.
So that to me was like amazing to know.
And family program
Yeah.
coordinator
Yeah,
to
she was
where
the
I dealt
Yeah.
with the family. So
the
I
Quinn
know the
family
thing.
was
It's hard. It was hard. It was hard being away from your family. I mean, I don't think that people understand, how when you're a spouse of a military and you have to leave your family and live in a state or a country where you
Mm-hmm.
don't know,
right.
that's isolation in itself.
Yes.
That's just the beginning of isolation, and it does put you in a
Makes
situation
you vulnerable.
to be
Yes.
Makes
vulnerable,
you vulnerable.
and
It's
so
a lot of things.
that's why it's very important to reach out to your family programs and understand, so and speak your voice, have a voice and speak your voice. This is her voice, and her voice is she's sharing her voice and her stories with other you know people that might be in this situation. So I appreciate that. I
Thank you.
appreciate this book, and this is a great story. So we would love to, continue the story with you. We would love to find out when your next book is and talk about your next book and have you on.
It might be
And
a movie. Beautiful
that
movie.
might be a movie.
That's what, when I tell you, I have
Yeah.
sent this book out to everybody possible, but it's hard to get your book in the door. I started back because I wrote that in 2018.
Okay.
So when I wrote the book, I was like, somebody's going to want this book. And I feel like it just didn't go as planned, but that is my ultimate goal, is
All the
to
different
meet
streaming
someone.
networks.
Right.
I mean, hopefully this crosses somebody's YouTube desk or phone, and they flip through it. You never know.
Yeah.
Who's gonna reach out.
I'm praying on it. I do
Right.
pray on it.
Because I
Pray
can
on it.
see that being a nice Netflix movie.
I agree.
Mhm. Yes, they're great. Okay, so thank you again for being here with us
Thank you
and
guys.
telling your story. And we we're excited to.
Another friend of the Black Pearl District.
That's right. And welcome to the family.
Welcome to
Welcome
the
to the
family.
Thank
Black Pearl
you.
District
Thank
family.
you.